Former Trump lawyer Rudy Giuliani released his own brand of coffee Monday, Rudy's Coffee, and it's the best you'll ever taste, according to Giuliani himself. Here's a look at the ad aired earlier this week. Let's look.
You all know I stand by the truth, and if I put my name on something, I truly believe in it. Today, I'm thrilled to introduce you to something I'm incredibly proud of. My own brand of organic specialty coffee, Rudy Coffee. By supporting Rudy Coffee, you're not just treating yourself to exceptional coffee, you're also supporting our cause, the cause of truth, justice, and American democracy.
At $21.99 per 2 pounds, you can sip a cup of Joe made with the, quote, finest beans imaginable while Giuliani pays for his legal bills at your expense. Giuliani's latest scheme comes as he tries to pull himself out of mounting debt accrued from pricey legal woes, bankruptcy, which he declared in December of last year after a court forced him to pay $148 million to 2 Georgia election workers that he defamed, and also being suspended from his stint at conservative radio WABC. According to the New York Post, Giuliani's debts include $1.4 million in unpaid legal bills, a $700,000 IRS tab, and another $260,000 owed to the New York State tax authorities. X-users roasted Giuliani over Rudy Coffee. One user posted, quote, MAGA grift never ends. Rudy Giuliani selling coffee now. It smells like essence of hair dye and sweat. Actor, famed Trekkie George Takei posted, quote, Giuliani is now hawking his own brand of coffee, and his first commercial is a cringe fest. Someone else said, I think I found out where the new Rudy Coffee is coming from. It's not good news. One ex-user got cheeky and posted a picture of a coffee mug with Giuliani's mugshot and the caption, quote, perfect mug to drink my Rudy Coffee.
That's pretty good. I respect a good bit. I liked your little roasting on the internet quip too. Look, it's difficult to, schadenfreude is what it is, but it is wild to see someone have this kind of a fall from grace. From the, mayor who got us through 9/11 to Trump's not very good legal counsel to now facing bankruptcy over these defamation lawsuits, an $148 million judgment against him in December from these 2 women from Georgia who he accused of election fraud. It's difficult to watch in some respects, but as compared to other people's fall from grace, it does feel like something that Giuliani has been courting for a long time. The choices that he has made, yeah.
And I'm looking again. It's $21.99 for the coffee, not $29.99. $29.99 sounded like a lot of money for the coffee. Yeah,
the beans.
He's, I mean, this is the end state for a lot of people who are, for better or worse, simply influencers on the right, is selling various products, which is why I'm debuting my new Robby coffee, which is available to you, the viewer, at the low price. No, I'm kidding. He's come to this with the legal problems that, he agreed to be Trump's attorney, Trump, who notoriously never pays anyone back for anything, and is the root of actually many of Trump's problems. So he also made sensational claims about the election that he could not then verify. These Georgia election workers, he repeatedly defamed them and got himself in this mess. So that's how it is. He could have retired from public life in the aughts and
he could have done a podcast.
As the most beloved figure in recent political history. Yeah, could have done a podcast. Now he's selling. And I'm sure some people will buy it. There are diehards out there who are still like, we have to, knowing that this is supporting the cause of MAGA or Trumpism, helping to pay the legal bills of various people.
Yeah, there are other people, obviously, who seem to maybe opportunistically take advantage of the Trump phenomenon or felt like they had no other choice because of how powerful and influential and how much control Trump had over the Republican Party, and so rode with him for a period of time and then jumped ship after 2020. And there were a bunch of people who criticized him after January 6th, some of whom have gotten back onto the Trump train. But Giuliani's relationship with Donald Trump seems to have been less, frankly, transactional and more substantive and real. There's, the famous clip of the kind of Giuliani in drag and Trump in the, I guess, in the 80s or 90s. They were the 2 New York guys who had been in each other's orbit in the context of the city for so many decades. And it really does seem like Giuliani, when there was an opportunity for him to kind of consciously uncouple and go his own way and maybe preserve some of the goodwill that he had earned for himself, or rightly or wrongly had received after 9/11, and could have gone a kind of a light right route, like Adam Carolla, and done a little bit of a podcast and still been a reasonable guest for late night talk shows and done the Joe Rogan show, and yes, maybe have supplements. Certainly hawking goods is not solely the province of people who have had the kind of colossal failures that Giuliani has had. I mean, Alex Jones, as a very wealthy man, was selling all kinds of supplements and things on his show. And that's part of how he got all of that wealth in the first place. It's not necessarily a sign of failure. But this is someone who once ran for president, you know?
And it's important to remember what he ran for president on a platform on. He ran for president in the 2008 election as someone, you know, he's up on stage with John McCain, and he's probably the most hawkish person in the field, on an explicit platform of expanding the war on terror in every direction. He had this famous argument on the debate stage with Ron Paul, where he accused Ron Paul of, like, you know, wanting terrorism to win or something, because Ron Paul was warning against the Patriot Act and the surveillance state and getting so involved in the Middle East, and how all these things had been bad. And Giuliani had this very clarifying moment where, he calls out Paul as, like, you know, wanting the terrorists to win. And it's like it's almost an apex moment in time, because from then on, the Giuliani perspective, even just solely even within the Republican Party, has waned, and the Ron Paul perspective became much more ascended in terms of, this is a waste of taxpayer dollars. This has created a system where conservatives will be spied on by the vast administrative state. The neoconservatism really fell out of fashion very quickly. So it was almost this last, at the time, there was so much commentary on, what is Ron Paul even thinking, daring to say these things? But he, in the long run, it didn't take very long for it to happen, absolutely won that debate, and the kind of ideology that Giuliani represented did not fare so well on the right.
Yeah, I gotta say, you know, not all celebrity endorsements are made equal. There was a TikTok going around virally recently about how reluctant Michael Jackson was to be in the famous Pepsi ads that featured Carlton from The Fresh Prince as a small kid. And part of the reason the commercial was set up in that way is because he only wanted to be in the ad, Michael Jackson only wanted to be in the ad for a few seconds. And so he had kind of a little mini-me proxy do most of the work in the advertisement. You know, most stars understand that while, you know, you sell ads to make money, there is a little cost benefit and diminishment of your own value. And that's for a really, you know, big, reputable, expensive brand like Pepsi. I think part of what is so kind of lampoonable about this Giuliani fiasco is, like, what does Rudy Giuliani have to do with coffee beans? I mean, I could almost
maybe
see
he
him
was
selling
selling little
insurance or something in the financial, something.
Police bats.
Oh, yeah, tasers, maybe even guns. Yeah, that's your next hot tip, Rudy Giuliani. There's a whole world of merchandise that's open to you if you only have a little bit more creativity. I've got your new manager over here to my left.
I gotta correct myself one more time. It is $29. I got.
Oh, it is $29.
$29.
Okay, so it'll be pretty easy for you to undersell them with your own brand of beans.
With Robby coffee?
With Robby coffee.
All right, that does it for us on Rising. We will be back tomorrow. Please tune in then.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss any content. For those of you who like to listen while you're on the go, we're now available anywhere you listen to podcasts.
See you later.
Take care.